Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a viewer request topic and looking into why do I feel so drawn to this person. So thank you to the viewer who recommended this topic, and this can definitely apply to somebody that you have just met. You've seen this person across a crowded room, seen them from afar. This can be somebody that you've been talking to for a little while, or maybe you just started talking to. This can also, this topic can be related to somebody that you have a long-term history with, or even somebody from your past. So just take these messages as they resonate with your situation. Apply them as you will. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the orange calcite, along with these cards. Group 2 is the green calcite, along with these cards. And group 3 is the honey calcite, along with these cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the orange calcite, along with these cards, which I'll start with to get kind of a general idea about why do you feel so drawn to this person. So we have shaman spiral, awareness, practice, connection. Ceremony, invocation. Winds of change, your surroundings will undergo transition. And King Arthur, authority, justice, power, leadership. So there is a distinct energy here with ceremony that you have in some way manifested this person. You have invoked this person energetically. The idea of the shaman spiral and this energy of connection. This could be somebody that you knew in a past life, to where the two of you had almost this unfinished business with each other. that in some way, shape, or form now has the potential to play out with you, kind of tying up of loose ends in this lifetime. This can also really talk about somebody that you've known from a past life that in some way embodies or carries the energy or the relationship and the dynamic that the two of you shared in a previous lifetime, had a lot of the components of something you are seeking at this point in your life, in this current incarnation. So this could be a dynamic that was a very healing connection, a very nurturing connection. This may have been a situation where in previous lifetimes, this was a like a mother-child dynamic, a parent-child. The two of you may have been siblings. You could have been friends that felt like family. This could have been somebody who really helped you when you were down and out, maybe somebody who gave you a lot of wisdom and advice, a mentor in previous lifetimes. And so kind of your soul across the ages, across all of space and time, this idea of time being a spiral and not a linear concept, has sent out that call, has really invoked this person due to a period of transition that you are at or you are getting ready to embark upon in this incarnation. This can also really tie into, again, that call across the ages that has happened for this person is meant to be that act of initiation to really get kind of your life or your healing journey, maybe even your perspective, your spiritual journey, something to do with your spiritual awakening. It kind of turns the page on that. It opens up to a broader perspective, irrelevant of how deep the two of you kind of enter into a relationship. Maybe this is someone you become friends with in this lifetime. Maybe this is somebody you enter into a romantic connection with in this lifetime, or somebody from your past that you are in the process of kind of tying up these loose ends with, so that kind of what was not finished between the two of you previously now has the opportunity to really be there's some resolution that can come to that, so that as your souls continue to evolve and continue to move through time, there's almost a lightness to that. Anything that had been heavy or lingering has the ability to then be kind of closed up or completed. This can also tie into, again, some transition that is going on in your life right now, whether consciously or unconsciously, something that you are really planning, you're thinking about, you've been putting a lot of effort into. This idea of ceremony and invocation speaks heavily to law of attraction and manifestation. This person can really, again, be almost that call or that beacon that you have put out there, those intentions that you've set, and in some way this person is kind of a piece to that puzzle. This person may be, with the idea here on this King Arthur card of authority, they may have resources, even just internal resources of wisdom or something within their energy, that as the two of you kind of build a dynamic or exchange with one another, it helps to kind of unlock some deeper potential, maybe even literal opportunities with this idea of leadership. This may have something to do with people that they know, a direction that they point you in, some way in which this person helps you to get your foot in the door towards something else you are seeking to create for yourself with the idea of connection. This can be, again, somebody that you network with. This can be somebody that you collaborate with in business, in partnership, a friend who is a confidant, a trusted sort of person that you can bounce these ideas off of, that helps you in your creative endeavors, helps you in other goals that you are trying to work toward, helps you to see things, to see outside of the box, to really maybe change or open your perspective, widen your approach, or kind of widen that net that you are casting out, in order to really bring in some things that you desire, different forms of abundance. This can even be somebody who, maybe is a conduit to you connecting with a romantic partner in the future, somebody they are friends with, somebody they work with, somebody, maybe a family member of theirs, for example. It feels that in some way, just at the soul level, the two of you, it's a deeper connection. It's almost like this more intricate woven sort of fabric between the two of you, to where kind of this nebulous draw that you have toward this person. It feels that it goes a lot deeper than just kind of those surface dynamics of you enjoy one another's company or you find this person attractive, you have a lot in common, that there's something deeper energetically that is going on here that really helps in some way to even activate you. They may in some way help to, with that idea of awareness and winds of change, to really open your mind to some things. Maybe this is a particular spiritual practice they have, a belief system, a perspective, or just a worldview, the way in which they describe things, the language that they use, the things that they prioritize and focus on. It really helps you to see something. It helps to activate or make something click within you in terms of other kind of goals, things you may have overlooked. This person may be a source of wisdom for you with this idea of justice, just in talking about things or hearing about their life story, really dialoguing with them. It helps to kind of put some pieces together for you. There's a lot of healing that has the potential to occur for both of you through this connection, and it feels to mainly be in the realm of kind of the exchange of ideas with this air energy, this winds of change, the ways in which you talk about things and you work through things. You're kind of having these discussions, maybe even at times debates with one another, and just kind of that vibration that is swirling back and forth between the two of you. You come away from this, even if the two of you are not really seeing eye to eye or agreeing on things, it's almost that some kind of energetic debris that you've been holding inside that may have been a block to things you've been trying to manifest in different ways in your life. You and this person are actively helping to kind of clear that up with one another, be that sounding board for one another, that safe space. It's the idea of almost somebody who goes to therapy or counseling, and that kind of room, that sacred space that is created. It's an opportunity to really work through things that in kind of the real world, in the physical world, and these other sort of interpersonal dynamics, or even things from somebody's past, that they just don't have the tools or resources or even the ability, or the other party or that situation, there's not an openness or a capability of really hashing things out in real time. And so it kind of requires this other sort of space of neutrality to at least provide that kind of restoration or that sort of relief for oneself, in kind of that mock environment, going back over sort of what has occurred, the grievances, the perspectives, kind of the exchange of ideas, the opening up to a new way of thinking, the release of some of that heaviness or that baggage. So in some way, this connection, regardless of the nature of it, is meant to help you kind of gain some kind of clarity, it seems. And this can even just be sort of just at a very subtle level in terms of the energy exchange between the two of you. You hold some key components energetically to really unlock some doors within one another, that just, this person may also feel almost like a breath of fresh air dealing with them. Somebody that you really have called in, you've really manifested this, somebody who in some way embodies a lot of the goals you're working toward. Or this can also be a connection that is representative of work you've done on yourself and kind of that coming into fruition, a new type of friend, a new type of dynamic, potentially even a new type of romantic partner that is really evidentiary of, this glow up, this work that you've done on yourself, to really rise beyond certain tendencies, or traits or patterns within yourself. And that this person is now, they're kind of the next step of that personal journey for yourself. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification about this for you, group one. About why do you feel so drawn to this person? Okay, we have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. Six of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Nine of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And Knight of Swords, so more air energy. So these cards beautifully articulate what was coming through with these initial kind of oracle cards. This idea with the swords energy, the Knight of Swords specifically, that the conversations, the words that are exchanged, the wisdom that this person has to impart, or maybe even just kind of the idea of if you've been in some kind of hermit mode, you've been in some kind of period of evolution or glow up, this might almost be kind of a new type of dynamic, a new type of person that you are able to kind of relate to. Kind of that first step out of the cave with this wisdom that you have sort of gleaned and gained, this work you have done on yourself. And now you are at this point with this idea of your surroundings are ready to undergo transition. You're ready to bring in a new type of person, a new type of friend, a new type of romantic partner. A lot of discussions back and forth that helps to bring some kind of balance or restoration, or really helps you to kind of gain some clarity on steps you may need to take moving forward. The energy of the devil can tie into toxic patterns and cycles. And again, this energy of sort of breaking through these things with the victory, the energy of victory here with the Six of Wands. Really this person helping you to see things from a new perspective, what you may have originally sort of anticipated as limitations or obstacles. This person helps to free you from all of that, to recognize opportunities, to capitalize on the potential that still exists, to utilize raw materials, even the raw material of your personal history and your story, to your advantage, to create change for yourself by first and foremost changing that mindset, having victory over kind of these fears or perceptions of limitation that exist within you. Nine of Swords can also talk about that idea of anxiety. Kind of this sort of an energy of loneliness that you may have been in, as well as you could have been in that hermit mode, really withdrawn, really in this period of kind of breaking cycles, breaking habits and patterns within yourself, becoming very self-aware, and that this person really helps to kind of move beyond that. It's the evolution beyond this period, this point of wondering, when are you going to encounter like-minded people? Maybe the people in your environment, you can't get very deep with them. They are not on a spiritual path. They are very much focused on the mundane reality. They have not done this work. They have not done this introspection. They can't see beyond the perception of limitations that exist around them. And so this person that you are very much drawn to in some way kind of mirrors a lot of those qualities of hopefulness within you. Has a lot of wisdom, has a lot of experience, something that really helps to kind of bring you out of this sense of isolation or even kind of desolation. That you've gone through these transitions, you've gone through these changes and these shifts, or even you've gone through a certain series of experiences in your life. And now is really the time to kind of bring yourself out of that energy. This person really helping you to kind of shift out of a lack mentality into a mindset of abundance, into a mindset of victory, helping you to really sort of reframe your projection of your circumstances and sort of situations that you've been through. So a connection that definitely has the ability to kind of impart a lot of wisdom, a lot of healing, and a lot of clarity. This person holds the key in some way, some kind of wisdom, some also element about the level of how comfortable you feel in their presence. Maybe talking about things that have been topics of shame, or that have been things that have almost been skeletons in your closet, things you have kind of avoided, difficult or rough chapters of your life. And this person represents this safe space where you can really clear the air. You can really shed light on a lot of these things. You can kind of move into this energy of self-mastery, recognizing these fears within you, recognizing these aspects of self that you are not necessarily proud of, that you in some way may have perceived as limitations, this kind of fear and anxiety and worry about how to really move on from all of this, how to really, kind of articulate your shadow into the aspect of light within you, that part that you sort of shine out and show the world. In some way, this person, in kind of the blossoming relationship that has the potential to be created between the two of you, the dialogue back and forth, the words that are spoken, the ideas that are exchanged, they help you to reframe your perspective. They help you to see things from a wider vantage point and to really start to transmute on a deeper level and in a more accelerated level. A lot of that kind of leaden experience within you, the heaviness, or again, the things that you don't really want to look at or talk about, perceptions of obstacles or barriers, and they help you to really kind of chisel away at that, to really transmute that into this energy of gold, into this energy of victory, and this energy of triumph. The words that they speak to you help you to also really sort of reframe and understand your personal life experiences up to this point in time from a different perspective. This person helps you feel like a leader. They help you feel like a winner. They help you recognize that you are a survivor. You are a victor over things that, you know, for all intents and purposes might have been very crushing or devastating, or situations of defeat that you may have perceived. That this person in some way helps you to become more mindful and grateful for how these, you know, maybe difficult circumstances have helped to shape you into somebody who is more self-aware, who has greater access to kind of those mechanisms of self-healing, that by kind of working with what you have where you are and continuing towards those goals, looking beyond the very immediate sort of heaviness and mire toward that horizon you're working toward, and in some way maybe things that they have done, challenges that they have overcome, it's an inspiration to you to continue to press forward, and perhaps from a reimagined way, or from a direction or sort of an angle that you hadn't thought to look for previously. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this situation. Okay, so we have let go, enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So this is really guidance to just enjoy kind of the organic and fluid nature of how this draw that you are feeling toward this person has the potential to kind of grow and germinate, letting go of expectations, letting go of labels, or the need to want to categorize this connection, to want to figure out, you know, kind of what the end goal, what the purpose is, what the ultimate outcome of this situation is. It's something which kind of piece by piece is meant to very much be that breath of fresh air between you and this individual. You know, letting go of this kind of again, just thinking too much in the future, this idea of future tripping, and just being very much in the moment with it, allowing this change, allowing this kind of exchange of energy and this exchange of ideas, you know, an inspiration between you and this individual, allowing that to really help to release a lot of these burdens or uncertainty, blocks or obstacles, actual or perceived, that you have you're aware of. You may be looking at these things as limited to you. That again, this connection helps you to really sort of transcend. It helps you to really heal. It helps you to really sort of express yourself, utilize, you know, that throat chakra energy, that communication energy, that exchange of ideas. You know, this is almost this person being kind of this light or this beacon at a point in your life that may have been kind of dark or lonely. But this is also really guidance to not place so much you know, emphasis on this connection, where the importance of this, the draw that you have toward this person, you know, the way that you enjoy one another's company, that is very valid and that is very important. But at the same time, being mindful that you don't project too much of your kind of your own healing to kind of a savior complex upon this person, that they are the answer that you have been looking for. It feels that vibrationally, or even just in the words they use, they have the key to unlock the answer which exists within you. So this is a connection that can be very inspiring, but at the same time, it's something where you need to be mindful to almost, you know, take responsibility for that healing, not kind of put too much emphasis or effort into, you know, kind of having this person be the answer that you've been seeking, but utilizing this as an opportunity to kind of co-create, to exchange with one another, to ensure that energy of reciprocity is flowing between the two of you. as much as they are giving to you, making sure that while you are receiving, you are also kind of giving back, checking in with yourself as well. If this situation feels a little bit overwhelming, or it feels to be kind of lopsided, one-sided, you're relying or depending too much on this person for that breath of fresh air, then it may be time to kind of pull back that energy, to exercise those boundaries that you have cultivated and that you may be needing to put in place from time to time in this situation. And we also have strange journeys. Take control of your quest. Choose your companions wisely. So this is another kind of emphasis on that idea of not falling into the trap of kind of crowning this person as the savior, as the answer to all of your prayers, recognizing that, they may have these components or these keys within them that unlock something within you. But really, it's a connection that is meant to activate some sort of mechanism, some mechanism of manifestation within you. You have manifested this person in. There's a very necessary kind of purpose, or a beneficial purpose, to encountering them at this point in your life. But again, being open to the idea of whatever the longevity is of this connection, trying not to put too many titles or labels or expectations. This may be somebody who accompanies you kind of for the remainder of your journey in this incarnation. This may be somebody who, in the grand scheme of things, over time, the two of you sort of drift apart, that you have a very necessary purpose to serve for one another, but it feels to just really remain in this energy of fluidity, like that idea of the wind, of air, and just really flowing through this, allowing the connection to kind of ebb and flow as it will. All of that really perhaps even being this living example of breaking out of some kind of patterns or habits within yourself, maybe toward codependency of the past. That this connection and this person is that real life kind of exercise or example in that self-awareness you may have gained over these tendencies within yourself, and applying a different kind of method or formula to how you are participating in and helping to sort of build and sustain this connection with this individual. So I'm going to get some initials now, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got Z, I, H, V, G, C, O, S, and N. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the green calcite along with these cards, which I'll start with to get a general overview about why do you feel so drawn to this person. We have Peace Walker, peace, gentle, forward. Clouds, shape-shifting. The Unicorn, good fortune and friendship. And the Abbey, interconnectedness, purpose, serenity, shared blessings. So there is an element of a past life connection that is coming through in this reading, and there were overtones of that in group 1. So if you felt drawn to watch that group as well, you may wish to do so after you watch the messages that come through for this group. There could be more clarification, further messages, further insight for you there as well. But this feels like something where a lot of unfinished business that you could have had with this person. This could have been a friendship, something where circumstances kind of took you and this person in different directions. There may have been a falling out as well between you and this person in a previous lifetime, where you are now kind of incarnated here to create this balance with one another. You're drawn to one another because of that kind of these unresolved things, this unfinished symphony between the two of you. A desire to, at the soul level, to sort of do things differently. This could even be somebody who you were friends with in a previous lifetime, in a previous incarnation, that there were deeper kind of romantic feelings for, but that those things were not acted upon, either through choice or necessity. And so the potential exists now in this lifetime for the two of you to reconnect with one another, to make different choices, to move in the direction of exploration of those feelings, exploration of a romantic dynamic, or even just exploration of a friendship again, enjoying one another's company again, that may have been cut short or thwarted in other lifetimes. It also seems that this person is a helper of sorts for you, that in some way their vibration, something that they hold within them, helps to create a sense of peace within you. This may be somebody who helps to ultimately sort of temper a lot of uncertainty, a lot of kind of shifting thoughts or racing thoughts or indecision within you. Somebody who, based on just kind of the vibration that they hold within them, the nature of their energy, maybe even certain spiritual practices, a certain spiritual path, or even religion that they are a part of, or that they have been influenced by in their life, that in sort of sharing these things, discussing these things with one another, this person helps to really open your eyes to a path for internal peace. It feels that this person across many lifetimes has done a lot of the spiritual work. This could be somebody who, with this idea of the abbey, kind of this religious structure, almost like a monastery. They may be somebody who is very devout in this lifetime to something. Even if this isn't a spiritual path or a religious path, this can even just be kind of a cause. This could be somebody who considers themselves a light worker, somebody who is very healing, somebody who wants to help to uplift, to create order and peace in situations of environment, or of chaos, environments of chaos, maybe even something environmental in nature, that they are, they feel very strongly toward. Somebody who has a deep connection with the natural world or the world around them, or kind of a lot of care and concern for their community. It feels that this person may almost be that inspiration or kind of that guiding light that you have needed at this point in time to help put some things in your life into perspective. If you've been really struggling with some things, you've been in kind of this period of internal conflict, or even conflict with others in your life, life. There's something about this person's philosophy, this person's approach to life, that helps you recognize that the path of peace is often the way to the greatest victory and fortune, rather than kind of the path of struggle or conflict or strife. In some way, the wisdom this person helps to impart to you. This may be kind of a conduit or a means to making peace with other people in your life, making peace with your past, making peace with who you are and your journey as it has really taken you at this point in time. Again, this idea of serenity, it feels that this is a connection that is meant to really be a very easy connection, a very kind of seamless interaction with you and this person as this develops into, potentially someone that becomes a best friend, a very close friend, a very good friend, this idea of the unicorn, somebody who's very rare and unique, somebody who you connect with on many levels that you didn't know was necessarily possible. It's not even like something that you were looking for and just were never able to find. But there's a level of sort of the way in which you and this person have the potential to relate to one another, or are currently relating to one another. If this is somebody, you've already established a dialogue with, you've already established a connection with, somebody that somebody that's in your life, it almost brings to mind this idea of, this is the way healthy connections should be. This is the way authentic connections should be. Somebody who really leads from example. It is that peace in a connection or in the exchange of energy with others that may have been so elusive for you at other times. You may have really been used to connections where people thought that you were too much, you were too intense. It was a lot of kind of conflict energy, a lot of people with unhealed kind of wounds and shadows within themselves, and you've been used to, maybe butting heads with other individuals because of a certain, belief system or practice or philosophy or mindset or just something energetically within you or within your personality, and just kind of the individuals you've encountered, maybe difficult relationships with family or, a series of kind of friendships that had fallen apart, romances that had been very unsuccessful, and you could have taken a lot of that onto yourself, feeling that you were the problem, taking these other people's projections onto you as sort of evidentiary of a deficit within you. It feels that this person really helps to shift your perspective to help you understand that you are enough and you are worthy, and that there is no reason to dim your light in order to kind of accommodate other people, to make other people feel more safe or comfortable in sort of the cloak of distortions that they have been wearing. If you've been dealing with a lot of kind of broken people or very difficult relationships, it feels that this connection, this potential, this person that you're drawn toward, this situation has the potential to develop into something that's very restorative for you. It brings a lot of peace. It brings a lot of solace. This person has the potential to be that safe space, that sounding board, that comfort zone where you are very free to be yourself. You're very free to kind of take off those masks or the ways in which you have had to almost chameleon yourself in order to not sort of stir up conflict, not stir up strife. You may be a very gentle and empathic person by nature, and you've encountered a lot of harsh realities. The world feels very harsh and judgmental to you. And this feels like a kindred spirit, like a kindred soul, somebody who has undergone those same kind of struggles within themselves, who may have also developed, at various times, kind of these walls and these protective mechanisms, feeling very kind of isolated from others around them, unable to really relate, to be seen, to be known. And so it feels like a very, the potential here to be a very freeing connection for the two of you. It's almost this little world that the two of you can create with one another, where you get that reassurance, you get that confirmation that, these aspects about you that may rub a lot of people the wrong way, these are actually very unique gifts, that you are actually, it's your energy is a blessing, and it's not meant for everyone. The two of you are not everybody's cup of tea. You're either a little too intense, or maybe people have accused the two of you of being a little too gentle, being a pushover, and so you've tried to strengthen yourself. You've tried to develop that thick skin in order to, be a little more tough, be a little less sensitive. this person in this connection is really that place where, you have this ability to kind of let those walls and those barriers take off that armor for a moment, and just sort of shine in that very authentic self. A person, a connection, through the exchanges, through the time that you spend with one another, and you really get to see that there are others like you out there. It helps you to shift more into that vibration of authenticity. In some way, the draw that you have to this person, it really feels like something that is not meant to just be sort of a fleeting, sort of a wondering, why was I so drawn to this person? It definitely feels like something where, at the very least, a friendship, a very good friendship, a friend that you feel very fortunate to have connected with in this lifetime. The two of you almost being that, kind of that oasis for one another in what may have been sort of this kind of desert of interactions, where you've only been able to find people who will go so deep. You've only been able to find people who are, accepting of certain components of you, but then there comes that threshold. You've had to hold yourselves back, and it feels very limitless, this connection. So that by kind of unleashing that authenticity that you have kind of tucked away in the shadow, you may have viewed these things as distortions or things that you've had to be kind of quiet about. You've had to dim your light. The two of you being this kind of sounding board for one another to shine very brightly and authentically. It helps the two of you evolve how you are shining out into the world, stepping more into that place of confidence, being willing to be yourself, that gentle you, that you that's too much or that's too intense, that you that feels a little too much, feels a little too deeply, and, being that very unapologetically. So kind of a period of practice, a sort of an introductory sort of state, a safe space that the two of you really represent and create for one another, where you are able to kind of, work through and even sort of commiserate with one another about these experiences, about the very unique nature of the two of you at a soul level and kind of that emotional makeup. And by talking about these things, kind of bringing these things out into the light in this energy of a safe space between the two of you, it helps to really transform and transmute and shift how you are showing up in the world. This draw that you have to this person and kind of this friendship that has the ability to really blossom. Again, this doesn't feel like somebody where you're meant to always just kind of wonder, why was I so compelled toward them? It feels like there's something that's meant to develop on a deeper level between the two of you. It may be very surprising. It may be something where, because of this guardedness, this kind of armor that the two of you had to put up, as kind of this self-protective mechanism, it may take some time to kind of work through that. But as the two of you almost chisel away at this, come into this place of recognition that, this is a safe space, that you have not felt so authentically seen and kind of safe in the company of another in a long time. It helps to kind of bring you out of that shell, bring you out from behind those walls, bring you out from behind that facade. So a connection that can develop between you, which really leads to a greater growth and evolution for the two of you in terms of how you're showing up in the world. And also importantly, with this idea of clouds and kind of this mental energy, the way in which you see yourself, recognizing yourself as whole and complete and very beautiful in your unique nature that may not be for everyone. It may not be these may not be qualities that are celebrated at this point in time in our society. The two of you may be very intuitive, very empathic, very psychic, and these are things that, even based on your the nature and the environment in which you grew up and the circumstances, that you cloaked this, you sort of stuffed that down, you dimmed your light either to survive these conditions or because you weren't really encouraged in these ways. The two of you really encouraging one another to step forth into that authenticity, to let that weird, wonderful you shine forth very unapologetically, in a very unadulterated manner, in a way that you may not have done since you were children, or ever. So it feels like a situation where you're being almost compelled toward one another. It feels very kind of reciprocal, this idea of being so drawn. This person is also very drawn to you for this aspect of something that, if this is someone that's kind of a new connection or somebody that you're just sort of getting to know. There can be this sense of, because you still have those kind of walls up, you still have that armor up, but there's a sense of there's something more, there's something deeper to this. And these cards, at least at this point, really confirm that, there is something deeper to that. The light that you hold within you exists within this person as well. And it's something where you both almost have this ability to kind of guide each other to that. You're walking each other home to self. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you, group 2. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Two of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Three of Swords, so more air energy. And Six of Swords, so another card of air energy. So a lot of that mental energy, that energy of the mind and the perceptions, and this idea also with that Two of Swords of kind of cloaking these things. Even on this card here, the Six of Swords, which really speaks to moving into that place of peace. This is the peace walker in terms of a card, but all of this kind of background here, it's fog, it's veiled. This really suggests that this connection, the potential of what exists between the two of you, the reason you are so drawn to this person is something that they hold within themselves, or something that has the potential to develop between the two of you, helps to really lead both of you. You guide each other, you are walking each other out of kind of this energy of obscuring your authenticity, obscuring your light, and you're stepping forth into this place of moving beyond kind of internal conflict, internal judgment, and stepping into that place where you are willing to be seen for more of who you authentically are. This idea of Queen of Cups, this is an energy of love that feels in this context really applies to this person meant to demonstrate to you through the fact of kind of this shared almost kinship between the two of you, that you are not alone, that they help you to really dive deeper into this journey of self-love. They help you to really love and admire these quirky kind of qualities about you, or these things that aren't necessarily understood or received by everybody. They help you to step into that authenticity of loving yourself fiercely and making that known, regardless of who is, willing or able to see and kind of accept that and resonate with that. Regardless of that, you're stepping and standing in that authenticity and truth of who you are. This idea of the Three of Swords, this energy of heartbreak, which I'm really drawn to this sword that is just kind of positioned on this woman's head. And again, is these kind of defeatist thoughts, these ways in which you have been judged, you've been misjudged, you've been kind of, people have attempted to make you kind of squish down that light, kind of dim that light, pull into yourself. You may have felt very isolated, a lot of kind of pain and loneliness that you've been dealing with, and that this person, this connection, the draw towards them really helps the two of you very mutually to kind of come out from that stance, spread your wings a little bit more. Turn the volume up on that light that you hold within you. And also with this Two of Swords, kind of this closed off energy, this is that idea of that guardedness, that shell, that armor, that self-protective mechanism that the two of you really are you are very much kindred spirits. You've been hiding your light behind this kind of guardedness, keeping people out. Maybe at the point in your life where you've gone through so much disappointment that you stopped trying. You've kind of had reached this place of just feeling that there were qualities or core aspects about you that were just not meant for this world. It was, things to be kind of ashamed of, or to, be very critical of oneself about, always kind of second guessing and evaluating. not wanting to be too much, too intense, too overwhelming to people. And so a lot of energy and focus being kind of devoted to shrinking your light, closing down, that authenticity, stifling your voice in some way, being very kind of restrictive of self, very self-restraining. And that in some way this connection really helps you to liberate one another. And again, it really feels that this could, for a lot of you, be somebody who's already in your life, or somebody that you are, this doesn't just feel in this instance to be, somebody that you just walk by on the street and you feel very drawn to them, and it's just, it's up to the universe if you run into them again. This feels like somebody that there is potential here to develop a dialogue with one another, to start exchanging with one another. There's something blossoming. There's something building here. It's very tangible. It's very real world. There is something that, again, like this idea of a safe space that the two of you are really meant to create with one another. It's a very beautiful energy here, of liberation, of standing forth in that authenticity, taking off that armor, taking off that guard, and just being willing to be seen in that very vulnerable aspect of who you are. Experiencing someone perhaps for the first time ever who sees that authenticity, the light and the shadow, all the flaws and virtues, and is very accepting of that, is very encouraging of that, contains a lot of these same kind of components within themselves as well, so that it's this formation of community. It's this formation of like-mindedness. It's this place of kind of this arena to practice that, to be that authentic self. To really shift out of that stance of being closed off and kind of shrinking that light down, stepping into this place of fuller expression, learning to love yourself in real time through the two of you, really sort of playing off one another in that sense. Expressing more and more of who you are, and continuing to come back and hold space for one another, to kind of dig through that messy kind of process, that wobbling process. It's a situation which has the ability to build each of your confidence and to help to reshape and reframe even your idea of why you are who you are, why you're here on this earth plane at this time. That there's something about kind of this unique nature, this light you hold inside of you, that is maybe meant to shift people's perspective. It's a very valid kind of core quality that each of you holds, and that by kind of holding that away or sort of stuffing that down, you're depriving this wider world of, even if people don't necessarily agree with you and you still continue to be too much or too intense, that you're worthy of being heard and seen. You hold this light and these qualities inside of you for a reason. You're meant to be that anchor down onto this earth plane of this vibration. And so this person really helping, the two of you really helping one another to step into that place of confidence, and be very unashamed in that authenticity. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this situation. Okay, and we've got kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. So this is really some guidance to be very gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Watch the words that you speak to yourself. Really, utilize this experience, this draw with this person, what is developing between the two of you, the conversations that you have, the dialogue that is being exchanged, as an opportunity, to step more into that energy of self-love. You may be somebody who is very giving in terms of your heart, very encouraging of others, trying to uplift others. Again, sort of containing yourself or dimming your light down to make others feel more comfortable. And that this guidance here is that it's time to really extend that same sort of cup of generosity and accommodation to yourself. You have played small long enough, and it is an act of kindness and compassion to yourself to step fully into that authenticity, allowing this connection and this safe space that is being created or has the potential to be created with this person. Perhaps first and foremost in that realm of friendship, and that good friend and that best friend and that kindred spirit, allowing that to be kind of that arena where you step into that place, where you let that light shine through all this kind of these years or this whole lifetime of kind of stuffing and stifling that down. And we also have owl song, whisper secrets to the moonlight, find strength in stillness. So this is, again, that idea of sort of illumination, this connection really helping to guide the two of you out of a period or a tendency in your life or in this lifetime to really stuff yourselves down, to hide yourselves away. There's something about this light that the two of you hold within you that is really you feel compelled or you feel safe to have that be seen and to have that be known. There's a wisdom there. There's something that the world needs, whether you take this out in kind of a public forum, you have this glow up and you express yourself fearlessly. Or if this is something where, just speaking more of your mind, speaking more of your truth, you are that example to others. To love yourselves exactly as you are. We can become so sort of fixated on this idea of fixing ourselves, things that are broken, things that we need to, change or repair. And while that is it's a good endeavor, it's necessary work, at a certain point, and for different types of personalities and people, that can almost lead into this realm of distortion, where it reinforces this idea of never being good enough. And a lot of times this can be projections that we've taken onto ourselves from other people who are operating largely from a place of distortion, who had not done the healing work, who, were operating out of this energy of disrepair. And so this idea of the wisdom, the perspective, the exchange that you have the potential to have with this person, being open to allowing this to reframe how you have viewed yourself. If you have considered yourself to be too much and too intense, maybe instead it was that other people were kind of running from something within themselves. They were not enough. They had not done this work on themselves, and the vibration that you hold was almost irritating to them, as an example. So this connection really helping to give you some wisdom, a greater clarity about who you are, these kind of core qualities within you, and to embrace that energy of change and stepping more into that vibration of loving yourself fully and completely just as you are, for as quirky and as intense and as sensitive and as loving as you are. All of these things are very beautiful and worthwhile qualities. And if you've been hiding or dimming your light down for some time, it feels like this connection is really that arena, that safe space to start to bring that out more in a pronounced way, so that others can really be touched by the gift of this very unique quality and core that you hold inside of you. So I'm going to get some initials now, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got X, G, I, C, F, L, M, V, D, and E. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Honey Calcite along with these cards, which I'll start with to get a general overview of why do you feel so drawn to this person. We have divination, guides, Ogham, tree spirits. Gaia, nurturing. Seduction, passion and romance await. And the dragon, strength, power, pathfinder, integration. So for some of you, this could be a soulmate, a romantic soulmate, a counterpart, maybe even somebody that you have incarnated with across many lifetimes. That energy of past lives, past life connection has now come up in all three groups. So if there were any other groups you were feeling compelled to watch, you may want to do so after these messages, as there could be sort of further clarification or more depth for you. But it feels like this person, also just based on, aside from the fact that this could potentially be somebody which you have shared past lives with, there's a soulmate connection, this is a counterpart situation, it feels like something in that, if you are to develop this situation into that arena of romance, this is a connection that really has the ability to heal you on some level. And healing is definitely, it's an inside job, but in some way it feels that this may be sort of that next step to work you have done within yourself to come to a place of peace and acceptance with your past, your romantic history, other things that have taken place in your life. If you've been on kind of this process of self-healing, of awakening, like a spiritual or ascension journey, then this person very much could hold that frequency within them of being that kind of awakened counterpart that you have been seeking. This can also be something where if you have considered yourself a twin flame, for example, and you have been in this process of, you were holding space for who you considered to be your counterpart to sort of do the work. Time has gone on, nothing has changed in the 3D sense, and you've really worked on sort of detaching yourself from that, opening your perspective and your mind to finding love elsewhere, kind of releasing that connection, releasing that hope or the energy of holding space for that person. This individual can almost be that idea of, having manifested that higher level love that you've been seeking, but in the form of another, that something could really exist here, that could blossom and bloom within this connection, that just at this point in time, with all these tiny flowers and the acorn that are on kind of the circumference of this spiral here, this circle, these are just kind of these seeds at this point in time that definitely have this potential to blossom into something, to be very fulfilling, that there are certain components which check off a lot of the boxes of what you have been seeking. And that it may take, some time to kind of explore this situation with this person further before you are able to really, kind of see that bigger picture of things. It helps to kind of bring things full circle. It brings you to that understanding and that sense of completion, that, the journey that you've been on, the frustrations, the ups and downs of maybe that twin flame experience, it hasn't been for nothing. That the investment in yourself, the choice to maybe detach from who you considered your twin flame, to release the expectations of that, to nurture yourself, to work on yourself, to cultivate that abundance, that you're now at this place vibrationally of being ready to welcome in a like-minded romantic partner, somebody who is willing, able, and ready to receive the love you have to give and to reciprocate that in kind. These two dragons here can definitely talk about this element of the yin and the yang, kind of these masculine and feminine polarities, that in some way this kind of draw that you have to this person, to explore that further, to allow that to blossom further, it in some way they mirror, it feels almost the best qualities to you, that if you had been in circumstances of people who really mirrored a lot of shadows, a lot of things that were difficult or needed to be sort of worked on, that in this situation there is the potential for kind of what is mirrored to you to be, again, kind of that fruits of the labors that you've been doing to really come to a place of self-acceptance and growth within you. The idea of the dragons having taken flight, that this can be, really the potential for a higher level soulmate, a higher level experience than what you may have gone through in your romantic past with who you considered a twin flame, or even just other people that you've dealt with. That this is a connection which is really evidentiary of the work you've done within yourself. This can also be something just outside of that realm of romance and a potential connection in that sense, that this person, just in the nature of their energy, the vibration they hold within them, it's a very nurturing vibration. They could really embody a lot of that that kind of feminine polarity of energy predominantly that is very receptive. It's a nurturing energy. It's almost like that warm, safe space that could definitely feel to call to something within you, kind of this masculine polarity within you, this very action-oriented energy, this very practical and logical, the can-do energy. This person really helps to mirror or call to that aspect within you, so that you can come into a place of maybe a greater awareness as well of kind of all of these components and polarities that you hold within you. If you've been too polarized in how you've been identifying yourself, either as the divine masculine, the divine feminine, this person and their energy and kind of the way in which the two of you have the ability to exchange, you move into this kind of this fluidity, almost this element of kind of androgyny, where you fully understand that everybody holds both of these aspects, and it's something that's a very fluid role. It's different hats that we can wear in different circumstances at different points in our life, and it shows up differently in other dynamics. And so in some way, this person allows kind of an unexpressed part of you to come forth, to be made known, to be honored and to be respected, to be appreciated, that maybe other people, because of what they held within them, you had to step into a different kind of role within yourself. You weren't allowed to kind of move into that place. This can also really tie into other connections or a period of time that you've been in your life where you've had to take on more of that masculine energy. You've been kind of achieving things, you've been accomplishing things, you've been taking action steps toward clearing things out of your life, bringing other things in, and that this person energetically kind of encourages you or triggers you to kind of lean more into that feminine aspect of your energy, this receptivity, this magnetization, this energy that draws in as opposed to forms and fashions through the exertion of will. And so it's a very different experience. It's a very healing experience to feel kind of this capacity to be able to step into that different role from what you have felt you have needed to do previously, either in other kind of connections, maybe what you feel society has asked of you, has demanded of you, the nature of what you've been working toward, maybe a particular industry that you work in that is not so encouraging of kind of this more receptive aspect of self, that it's very competitive. You've had to be very alert and very proactive in things. And that this situation with this person, you are drawn to this because they are beckoning you to kind of lean into that place of receptivity, that you've been doing so much, you've been creating so much, you've been so proactive. Now's the time to really enjoy and allow kind of those fruits to come to you, to allow yourself to receive for a change, as opposed to maybe you're an overgiver as well. You may resonate as an empath. And so in some way, you've had to kind of set up these sort of boundaries and barriers with people because you have, kind of given to the point of depletion in the past. It feels that this is a connection that has the potential to blossom between the two of you, that is more evidentiary of true reciprocity. Where you may have been dealing with a lot of things that were very one-sided. This is something where the two of you will really kind of meet and anticipate those needs within one another in a consistent way, in a level of depth that had not been experienced before. Somebody who will show you that appreciation and who also will be receptive to the types of appreciation you demonstrate as well. And then also just, in terms of their general energy, it feels that a lot of people are really magnetized to this person because of that healing energy. Something within them where, they may resonate as a healer, as a light worker, as some kind of, helper, or even sort of a shaman. They may be unawakened to this, or just starting to kind of come online with these concepts and this aspect within themselves. A medicine woman or a medicine man. A lot of these kind of this ancient wisdom within them that is sort of bubbling beneath the surface. This may even be somebody who has actively been working to kind of bring these things more up to the forefront of who they are as an individual. This idea of divination and these psychic abilities, the idea of guides and connecting with that kind of spiritual self, that higher self. That this could be a very uncommon combination of factors within a person from what you've been used to dealing with, or it creates almost that energy of allowing you to kind of lean more into the cultivation or experience of these facets within yourself. Somebody who, you're drawn to this person also in terms of how they are able to embody kind of both of these sort of polarities and qualities within self, that masculine and feminine polarity, to really help lead by example, to guide you through example on how to do that for yourself, on how to kind of create that harmony between giving, but not at the expense of depleting oneself, holding a little bit back, kind of this Queen of Cups energy here, and she's holding that chalice where there is something, that's given, but then over here with this kind of this closed vessel or this pitcher, keeping a little bit in reserve for oneself, that in some way this person as a living example, maybe even in something that the two of you are meant to create with one another, whether this is, kind of a partnership or a business, something of a spiritual nature, something of a healing practice, something where you collaborate with one another. You're really kind of bouncing ideas off each other, working in tandem, or co-creating maybe different aspects that you two are stronger with. One person's sort of the public face or the personality, and then the other is sort of behind the scenes, kind of collaborating and giving those kind of notes and helping to sort of keep that structure of maybe the more practical matters and things. A vehicle or a mechanism for healing and awareness and awakening and ascension for others that the two of you may really be kind of called to do to one another. And that's where this draw comes in, that it far exceeds kind of the surface level. It far exceeds the romantic implications of this. But in some way you are really kind of this example to one another of sort of the next step on your healing or your ascension journey. Kind of the partner you've been seeking, the one you've been looking for, the one that all of these other experiences have been preparing each of you for. And so the draw, to one another can definitely be very palpable, and it feels that it's very multi-layered, kind of what this can develop into. Something where, there may also be kind of this idea with the past lives of kind of this strong ancestral connection, maybe some kind of common culture or shared sort of tradition that the two of you are really meant to explore, some kind of spiritual or healing practices that you're both meant to really kind of inspire one another with, or, you both kind of educate each other on, you start experimenting with, these skills and abilities start to grow. A lot of healing as well that happens through your exchanges, through the romantic exchanges between the two of you, and even just the energetic exchanges between the two of you. A situation that is really meant to nurture you, where you have been kind of learning lessons and growing through maybe difficulties, gaining a lot of experience in what love is not. This person that you are being drawn toward has the potential to really teach you through an example of gentleness and nurturing energy. You're now ready to learn what love is. You have now prepared yourself. You have come full circle in some way with a series of lessons, a series of things you were meant to close out, and that this kind of person you're drawn to is the representation of kind of that next evolution, that next level, what comes after that phase of really sifting and deciphering through vibrations and tendencies and even connections, relationships, and circumstances in your life that are not serving your highest good. And by being very proactive in that, you have set the stage for this situation, which in a major way, and it feels a multifold way, is for your highest good. It helps to kind of it's that reinforcement, or it cements that raising of the vibration that you have done internally. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you. Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The World, which is fixed energy, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. The Lovers, which is Gemini. And Four of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So with the World, it definitely speaks to kind of the completion, this idea with the wheel here as well, where you have come to the conclusion of some kind of lessons, some kind of experiences. You have finished that cycle of learning what love is not, learning your lessons through difficulty, you know, kind of operating too much in sort of one polarity, out of a necessity, out of a need. This idea with the out in the cold energy of Five of Pentacles, where you've really you know, maybe isolated yourself. You've really iced out a lot of people in your life. You have kind of closed off or sequestered a certain aspect of yourself. And with the Lovers, this connection really helps to kind of bring in some sort of balance for you. This Lovers and also this idea of seduction and romance awaits can be that confirmation that the draw you feel toward this person, it is intended to almost be that sanctuary, that healing, that nurturing, loving, high-level soulmate connection that you have been seeking. If you have released, again, a twin flame, or the idea of union or reunion with this person in this lifetime, you have detached, you have focused on yourself, you have learned all you can, this energy of boredom, kind of that energy of pursuit, of holding space, holding your breath, the wishy-washy back and forth non-committal energy. You've become tired of that. You're over that. You have learned all you can from it. This person represents that opportunity. It is that gift from the universe. It is that new potential. It is that higher level love that you have been seeking. You know, it is the universe fulfilling its desire for you and its desire for everyone, that we experience love in a healthy and reciprocal manner. We are not intended to just kind of wander this world alone, valiantly holding space for somebody who, you know, is not at a place in their evolutionary journey where they're interested or able to do the work within self. And so efforts that you have made to kind of close out or complete or detach from those cycles, it feels like this person that you are being drawn to is that representation. And even if they are not kind of the end-all be-all forever person, they carry a vibration within them, and it's an experience of romance that you are being given this opportunity to explore that represents a paradigm shift. It is something different. It is, you know, perhaps that first step, that first kind of process of moving toward that energy of fulfillment, that energy of reciprocity that you've been seeking. You know, and again, for some of you, this could be that forever person, that forever soulmate. For others of you, this may just be kind of that first step into a new territory of romance. This can also be something where maybe this is a romance that then develops into kind of this long-term partnership in a business sense. Somebody you remain friends with, somebody where, you know, unlike other connections, it's either been this or that. It's been very black and white. Maybe this is a romance where then the two of you just continue on as very close long-term friends. In some way, this represents an evolution beyond what you've experienced. This person holds energy within them. They have done the work. in a lot of ways that you have, and in a way that kind of mirrors the vibration that you are sort of gearing toward, what you are aspiring toward, what you have cultivated within yourself. There's a lot of balance in here. Again, this kind of yin-yang energy that is showing up twice now, where they are, really kind of opening the door for an aspect of self, an energy, a vibration within you that is needed to just be kind of dormant. You've kind of put that aside in the interest of kind of pleasing other people, or because, just for what you needed to survive, or the environment you were in, or kind of the circumstances you were working through. It needed to be kind of dormant. It was another aspect of you that had to come out, this proactive part, this energy of really cutting away, of closing things out, of being very much, kind of the guardian or the warrior energy within oneself. There's a softness here that this draw towards this person is wanting to kind of cultivate within you, kind of the sense of completion, that you have completed a lot of this work, and now is the time to really enjoy kind of the fruits of that. The harvest is ready to be picked in this situation, and vibrationally in your life, and that this person that you are drawn toward is either that kind of fruit, what you've been working toward, or they are kind of that first step of a vibration of a different caliber of people, a different caliber of vibration that you are now, because of the work within yourself, capable of magnetizing in. So I'm going to get some guidance about this situation for you, group 3. Okay, and we have surprises. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. So this really is guidance to keep an open mind, open yourself to the possibility of the universe surprising you. If you've been on a very difficult and arduous journey of loving yourself, filling your own cup, setting boundaries, cutting things away, this is that energy of the harvest, of a very surprise kind of what can develop between you and this person. Or at this point in time, it may just be this chemistry, this inclination, this sense of something that's different, something that is very alluring, that is very much magnetizing you to this person. And this is really talking about, that it may be very surprising kind of how things develop. The fact that this, this person, maybe even there are sort of some uncommon things about them, things that you wouldn't ordinarily equate with kind of a romantic partner, somebody that deviates very much from what you've been used to dealing with in love and romance. But in some way, as you kind of peel back the layers of this, as you explore this energy of magnetization more, you come to discover that there are so many like qualities between the two of you. It's bringing to mind the idea of that Rolling Stones song. We can't always get what we want, but sometimes if we try, we get what we need. And this feels like this person is that energy of what you need. They have something within them, within their energy, or just the way in which the two of you energetically kind of merge and mingle, sort of what is infused and created from that. It's a very healing vibration for the both of you. You are ready to learn kind of these lessons of what love can be, lessons through gentleness, lessons through blessings, kind of that good karma that is ready to come in for you. And it may very much surprise you, kind of this turning of events, a connection that continues and progresses and becomes very deep, becomes very fulfilling on kind of these unexpected levels, and it may be very surprising sort of what this initial sort of spark or draw has the ability to develop into. And we also have the Green Man. Embrace your wildness. So if you resonate predominantly as the divine feminine, this can really talk about this confirmation of an ascended divine masculine that this person represents, gender aside, just something that they carry predominantly within them. And this could again be as a result of having released an idea or an expectation of someone else you consider to be your counterpart, your divine masculine, that the universe is now sort of providing you with a substitute for that. Somebody who has done the work, somebody who is not shying away from this, who feels and senses the intensity of this connection and keeps coming back for more. Somebody who has kind of a higher perspective, a higher mind, has worked through a lot of these kind of shadows or toxic traits or limitations within the material sense that maybe another masculine was unwilling or unable to do up to this point in their journey, or may choose not to do in this lifetime. And so embracing this idea as well, of that idea of the universe wanting you to be very happy, wanting you to be content, wanting you to feel very seen and free to be yourself. Understanding that, again, with this idea of surprise, that counterpart, that higher love that you have been seeking, may come in the form of a different person than you had originally been anticipating. So to continue to cultivate that healing within yourself, continuing to rewild yourself, continuing to nurture yourself, and to open up to the exploration with this idea of wildness and the wilderness, kind of this uncharted territory between you and this person. The magnetization you have toward one another, it is very real, and it is for, a purpose. This is not just for nothing. If you're a little bit kind of uncertain because of the last time you felt such a magnetization to somebody and how that worked out, you're encouraged to kind of keep an open mind, take things slowly, cut your way through this indecision very gradually, and understand that there may be treasure to be found kind of in the depths of this, that in this wilderness you do have the ability of having new experiences, better experiences than kind of that energy of being lost in the wilderness that might have occurred before. This energy of sort of wandering, which may have really been the case with a previous kind of partner or person that you had been in a sort of spiritual connection with, a soul connection, kind of embroiled in one of those dynamics. That there's something that is new about this. It's this unexplored territory. It's what has the potential to develop between you and this person. It is different than what you have experienced before. And so while the intensity of that, the nature of that, the draw, this kind of soul aspect, the synchronicities, the elevated energy, the electricity felt between the two of you may feel very similar to what you had known in the past with somebody else. There is this idea of this is a fresh experience. Those same results do not need to replicate themselves in this situation. So being open to that, the exploration and the possibility of kind of reaching that destination of that higher level love, that companionship, that counterpart energy in the form of someone who, when your journey began, you had a different expectation of who that might be, opening yourself up to the idea of that same energy and vibration and kind of end goal being fulfilled in the form of another person. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got T, H, K, Y, Q, E, Z, U, and R. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.